Good, happy Sunday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Salem murder victims remembered with visual 20 years later. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
We provide a service like few others across the United States.
Modified CEMS at Cheshire Medical Center.
We have the equipment and the training to handle life support missions.
We got the landing zone set up in the ball field.
We take care of the most sick and most badly injured patients, and to be able to help those people on a daily basis is incredibly rewarding.
Well, this gathering happening here at Hedgehog Pond, the same spot where Kim and Leanne's bodies were discovered 2 decades ago. It was in September of 1997 when the bodies of Kimberly Farah and Leanne Milius were found at Hedgehog Pond Park in Salem. The two teens were stabbed to death. Leanne was 17, Kim was 18. She died just 2 days before her 19th birthday.
I was in a funeral home on the morning of her 19th birthday and picking out a casket with her mother.
Kim's father, William, says although it has been 20 years since he lost his daughter, memories of that day are still fresh in his mind.
It's a remembrance almost every day. It's part of your life. You don't forget it.
Eric Jelinuski, James Grant, and Christopher Duquette were arrested, tried, and convicted for the deaths of the two girls.
5 people lost their kids that night, not just 2. The other people did lose their kids, although they can still talk to them if they want to, and they can probably touch them at some point in life. We don't get that option.
But as Kim and Leanne's family and friends gather together, William says it's not about how they died, rather more about the life they each lived.
A lot of them are friends that those kids grew up with back in 20 years ago. And it's kind of heartwarming in a sense. This is not part of the grieving process. This is part of the celebration of who they were. It's nice to see people still love them after 20 years.
And now James Grant received 25 years in prison, Chris Duquette 37 and a half years, and Eric Jelinuski was sentenced to life in prison for the deaths of Leanne and Kim. In Salem, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Massachusetts fire chief accused of strangling woman. A Massachusetts fire chief is accused of strangling a woman inside a home. The Middlesex District Attorney's Office said Ipswich Fire Chief Gregory Gagnon, 41 of Drancut, was arrested Saturday morning after investigators learned of a domestic violence incident involving a female victim. Authorities said they learned about last year's incident after Gagnon was arraigned Friday in connection with an alleged assault on the same victim that occurred on Thursday. Gagnon was arraigned in Lowell District Court and charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, witnessed interdiction, and 2 counts of assault and battery on a household or family member in connection with Thursday's alleged assault. He is facing an additional charge of strangling in connection with last year's incident. Gagnon is being held without bail pending his arraignment Monday at Lowell District Court. Officials: Maine man dies while hiking in New Hampshire. Fish and Game officials said a Maine man has died while hiking in Sargent's Purchase, New Hampshire, Saturday. Authorities said Roloff Daimon, 66 of Windham, was hiking up the Lion Head Trail with his son Saturday morning when he started feeling ill. The pair started to make their way down the trail due to Daimon's condition, but he suddenly collapsed. Authorities said Daimon's son immediately began performing CPR on his father with the help of other hikers who had come upon the scene. Multiple agencies, including Fish and Game, Androscoggin Valley Search and Rescue, Alpine Mountain Club, and Gorham Ambulance. A Black Hawk helicopter from the National Guard unit in Concord was also called in, and crews were able to get Daimon off the mountain. Despite all the efforts, Daimon did not survive. Monroe County reopens marathon after Hurricane Irma. Let's take a listen to this video from W Channel 10 News in Fort Lauderdale. Take a listen.
$10 billion in assets. From all of us at Florida Community Bank, thank you for the opportunity to grow with you. Florida Community Bank, Florida-based, Florida-focused, built here and based here.
After Irma, residents in the lower Keys will soon be able to return to their homes.
In just a matter of hours, roads will open all the way to Key West. Local 10's Janine Stanwood is in Marathon with the details.
Tonight, the Middle Keys are officially open to residents and business owners, but signs of Irma's destruction are everywhere, and officials have warnings now for people who want to come back. Relief keeps coming into the Florida Keys. It isn't pretty in some parts. Electricity is spotty. Running water is a luxury. But officials are slowly opening the island chain to residents and business owners. Middle Keys Saturday, the rest of the Keys Sunday morning. Some houses in these Marathon neighborhoods are just destroyed. Homeowners have been telling us they're dying to check on their properties, but city leaders say if you are not self-sufficient, if you don't have to come back, you shouldn't.
We're definitely not going to be able to stay here.
Families seeing their damaged homes for the first time say it's a shock. At Keys Fisheries, a popular restaurant and source of seafood for retailers, getting local workers back is critical.
We've been steadily working to recoup to get back to where we started.
It was a challenging decision that we made. There were quite a few healthy discussions in coming to this conclusion. But we felt like that with our residents that are stranded, that want to get back here, see their properties, and assess that situation, we felt like it was in the best interest of all the parties.
Bring your supplies, bring your medications, bring your water, bring your bug spray. Bugs now are going to start coming out. Mosquitoes, they're starting to come out. It's going to get worse in the next few days. So just be self-sufficient.
Most people in the Keys are used to living without a lot, and we can make do, and we'll all work together, and we'll rebuild our houses, and we'll move on.
At this checkpoint in Marathon, only first responders and disaster relief and media are allowed through. But come tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, all of the Keys will be open to residents and business owners. How the Florida Keys can sustain and handle an influx of people coming in is yet to be seen. We're in Marathon tonight. I'm Janine Stanwood, Local 10 News.
And according to search and rescue teams in the Monroe County, there are 9 deaths that appear to be storm-related.
Okay, and there you go on that report. St. Louis protest over ex-cops quickly turns violent for second night. 9 arrested. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Money you save for the future. See? We're putting away acorns to show the importance of being organized.
That's smart. Who's he?
He's the green money you can spend now. What's up?
Well, gonna pay some bills, maybe buy a new tennis racket.
Tennis racket for a squirrel. He's got a killer backhand.
When it's time to get organized for retirement, it's time to get Voya.
Violent protests in the streets in St. Louis after a white former police officer was acquitted in the shooting death of a black man.
The demonstrators even targeting the mayor's own home. Alex Perez joins us this morning with more on the violence that led to the arrest and what that former officer is saying about the shooting. Alex, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paula. Most of those demonstrators remaining peaceful, but a small group overnight turning violent, even breaking the windows here at this restaurant and throwing bricks at police officers. Overnight, hundreds of demonstrators taking to the streets in St. Louis. Police in riot gear equipped with mace and tear gas arresting more than 30 people.
People are just fed up. This is crazy.
Protesters coming out, voicing their anger against the acquittal of former police officer Jason Stockley, charged with killing Anthony Smith.
Change has to come, and it has to come now.
Jason Stockley speaking out overnight.
I can tell you with absolute certainty that there was no plan to murder Anthony Smith during a high-speed vehicle pursuit.
That 2011 pursuit caught on camera Stockley with his partner approaching and soon chasing after their suspect. Smith's vehicle crashing into a telephone pole. During the high-speed chase, Stockley can be heard saying, "We're killing this expletive, don't you know?" Gunfire followed soon thereafter. Smith was left dead. Jason Stockley later testifying he saw Smith with a gun. A firearm was recovered, but prosecutors argued Stockley planted that weapon. Video after the shooting shows Stockley digging into a bag in the backseat of his cruiser.
I did not murder Anthony Lamar Smith. I did not plant a gun.
Jason Stockley making it clear in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch interview that his actions were warranted.
The taking of a life is the most significant thing that one can do, and it's not something that is done lightly. It was an imminent threat to my life. I had to.
That explanation not sitting well with protesters.
Hey! Whoa! These racist cops have got to go!
The home of the mayor of St. Louis bearing the brunt of some people's anger. Bright red paint splattered across the home's exterior, windows broken by hurled rocks. And authorities say 10 officers were injured in the protests, 2 of them so seriously they had to be hospitalized. Dan, Paula?
Quite a scene outside the mayor's home. Alex, thanks for reporting from St. Louis.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Demonstrators took to the streets and shopping malls of St. Louis for the second day Saturday to protest a judge's decision Friday to acquit a white former police officer in the 2001 fatal shooting of a black man. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday. I'll see you back here later on today. Bye, everyone.